Welcome back. Here with another reaction, getting into the AI discussion, which cannot be avoided. AI is here to stay, and it's going to be part of our life whether we like it or not. So we really need to understand it. And yeah, here we go. This one is by the Infographic Show. Great channel. Give them a check out.
Smart tools and helpful bots. But now it's taking over your life. AI writes your emails, curates your playlists, answers your questions, flirts with you in chat apps. What once felt like convenience now feels like dependency, or worse, a trap. So are you still in control, or are you just feeding the beast that's about to consume you? We'll reveal how AI will ruin your life on this episode of The Infographic Show.
Yeah, it. I haven't used AI in the sense of like a virtual friend, like, hey, how's it going? Like, how's your day? You know, what I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that. I haven't used it for that purpose. It is an amazing, useful tool to gather information from every source on the internet and compile it super fast. That's mostly the purpose I've been using AI, ChatGPT, to be frank. But I've I do worry for the younger generation that's just completely reliant upon it and like kind of in trouble without it. I mean, yeah, I don't know where to begin. So,
The idea of a menacing AI is nothing new. They've been making the rounds in fiction for a long time, and the results are usually apocalyptic. The first two prominent examples were HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey, a highly intelligent and sinister AI with its own agenda who malfunctioned and tormented a group of astronauts, and the other was the mad and sadistic AM created by Harlan Ellison in the sci-fi horror story I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. This saw the supercomputer eradicate all life on Earth, save for 4 humans that he kept around as twisted playthings. They were followed by the most iconic evil AI, Skynet.
okay, if you have been living under a rock, have never seen sci-fi horror like Terminator or The Matrix or whatever, and any sci-fi movie that shows AI taking over, bro, like there's no way in hell that AI companies haven't foreseen these potential sci-fi possibilities. Okay, and that's in the back of our head. I mean, early in my career, freaking 10, 12 years ago, like professionals at the office were talking about, oh, one day God forbid, Skynet becomes active, right? And now AI is people talking to it like it's their best friend. So, I mean, now that is a movie. Okay, it's not actually real. Is it within the realm of possibility? Technically, unfortunately, yes. Does that mean we need to panic and like get off the grid entirely, live on the farm right now? No, like let's hold our horses. But like, if I think of any software, any computer, any application, anything, it's all programmed by someone to do something, and it's supposed to follow a set of programs and code, right? So uh, AI simply replaces the coder and itself can kind of learn and grow on its own. So the danger is if there's no systems or um, limitations placed upon it, then what's stopping it from going to the extreme, to the freaking Terminator situation, right? So I have to believe that I choose to believe that the folks who are ahead of these companies are well aware of the danger and are taking that into account, because otherwise we're literally looking at global world fair. Like, I don't want to freak people out, but anyway.
Which took over the world and created killer skeleton bots in the Terminator franchise. Then came the Portal franchise, a video game that saw its protagonist bedeviled by the cruel and sarcastic AI GLaDOS.
Oh, that was such a fun game. I think I only played a little bit of Portal 2, but you can shoot portals anywhere and everywhere, like 2 at a time. Man, it was so much fun.
But in reality, issues with AI are likely to be a lot more down to earth. Humanity hasn't come close to creating self-aware, self-acting AIs that function without prompting yet, and that
Right. The self-aware thing is what we're concerned about. But like he said, like it's not to that extent yet.
that's probably a good thing. After all, humans aren't always rational, and why would we assume anything that we create?
Oh, hell no. If anything, humans are the least rational creatures on Earth. Trust me. I think we can all agree on that. Like, uh, we're as less rational as it can get on to many level, and despite how much logic we have and so forth. So
Would be more so. Instead, what humans are primarily interested in is creating AIs that are essentially far more complex chatbots, able to perform specific functions when prompted, hold conversations, and act based on complex algorithms. The idea of artificial intelligence goes back half a century, and scientists were working on it a long time before we knew about it. And then in 2022, the whole thing blew wide open. Most scientists working on artificial intelligence were focused on its practical implications, with there being a lot of hope for us to use it in data analysis. These computers were developed to be very good at sifting through large amounts of data and could identify patterns, particularly in the medical field.
it is amazing at sifting through large amounts of data. I'm a tech analyst by profession, and I mean, yeah, when you have data from many different sources that you need to compile and consolidate, AI is an amazing tool to help you do that. You know, now my worry is people taking it too far and just like letting it do everything and just forgetting about your own brain power. You know, and you're just outsourcing your entire brain and thinking process. That's not what AI should do, which is designed for. But yeah, no. Data analysis has never been better because of AI. Because taking data from many different sources, compiling them, and having them in a easy to read and understand, view, that's difficult to do without an AI or some sort of intelligence to help you. So I love that part.
There was a lot of hope that artificial intelligence would be useful in diagnoses and identifying successful test points, but tech barons had other ideas. In late 2022, when the tech was still incomplete but a promising beta, ChatGPT was rolled out to the public by OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, and then it was off to the races.
I just saw a funny meme. It was a post on Instagram saying that people saying thank you, please and thank you, and in their chat GPT is costing millions of dollars. And then the comment section is like, yeah, I think I want to be kind to our future rulers of Earth. Or like, God forbid I have manners, or like, I want them to know, like, I always say please and thank you when they take over. So we're joking about it, but holy shit, like, we joke, we make way too much fun way too fast over something we know very little about, like this. And the fact that we're joking about the possibility of that, says so much, man.
The thing about big tech is that when one company has a new innovation, everyone else thinks that they need it too or they'll fall behind. ChatGPT blew people away and became a national obsession thanks to its uncanny ability to seemingly answer any question, write stories, and give advice. Soon other tech powerhouses followed suit. X, formerly known as Twitter, now has the Grok AI built in, and
Grok AI is hilarious. It has this unhinged mode, and it answers like a fucking witty, sarcastic, like bitchy kind of answer. It's really funny. And Elon, like, he's got to be like the most entertaining, funny, multi-billionaire on earth. Like, he is hilarious. Like, just watching him. And so, of course, if anything's gonna have a sense of humor, it's the AI that his company builds.
Google developed its own AI, Gemini, which now adds an AI-generated summary of search results on every page. Soon the chatbots were gaining new abilities as they were rolled out, including the ability to generate art in just about any style, and even photorealistic images that were hard to tell from reality. But while it seemed perfect, it definitely wasn't. From the start, eagle-eyed viewers noticed that ChatGPT might have been faster than a speeding bullet, but it definitely wasn't more accurate than Superman's X-ray vision. Fact-finding summaries from the chatbot would sometimes have common mistakes, stories would forget key issues, and pictures generated didn't quite have a firm grasp on human anatomy. To which the team behind it said, yeah, it's not finished, we're working on it. And everyone understood and they stopped relying on it for things. Yeah, right. Have you met people? Less than 3 years later, AI has infiltrated every corner of our lives, whether we want it to or not. And the new technology has made some things easier and a lot of things harder. In a way, it's an ironic genie. You can achieve everything you want with the click of a button, and no one will be the wiser. Probably. Sure, it won't be as good as if you just put some effort into it, but it'll be a heck of a lot easier. And how much do you really value what people think of your work? Many people have chosen the quick.
Yeah, it kind of shows, it's kind of a sociological experiment, honestly, because I think it's almost human nature to, if you're presented with two options and there's a harder path and there's an easier path, right, to get to the same destination. Come on, man. Like 90%, if not almost damn near 100, is going to pick the easier path, right? But what if the harder path or the harder route is overall better for you in your life and helps you become better, helps you grow, develop? Um, of course, in life, right? Like, if you want to be successful in any area at all, you can't just take the easy route. There's no way. Absolutely not. Especially if you want to be like the Michael Jordans of something, LeBron James of something, the Steph Curry. I have to use basketball athletes because it's the best analogy I can make. But there's no escaping like thousands of hours of practice in the gym and gameplay and averaging high numbers and working on your craft constantly. And LeBron is about to retire and he's 42 with, what 41, whatever. And the dude's still going crazy in the gym, lifting it really heavy and like maintaining a top pure physique. And it's exceptional. But yeah, there's no artificial intelligence that can replace that. Okay. Just pure human effort and consistency and hard work, right? Everyone before now had always had to write papers on their own. Last generation, hey, I saw a meme. Sure, we may have cheated on tests, but we had to work at doing that. We actually had to like be creative and figure out how we can do that. Okay. And we definitely sure as hell didn't have artificial intelligence writing papers for us in clearly words that we'd never say or speak, for sure. Like if you can't tell the difference between AI generated paper or a paragraph versus like how someone writes, like you got to get something checked. But it is so clear. So yeah, it's crazy. Students now are using AI to pass their courses and write their papers for them, and then professors have to use anti-AI software to detect AI, and then they're just going, it's like this theory in Batman escalation. They just keep escalating over and over. So what the hell, bro? If my future doctor needs to use AI to freaking like solve a medical issue, I don't want that doctor. Give me the old white guy from Kentucky that studied medical school for, like 40 years ago, bro. Like, it's ridiculous.
An easy option, and that work has to come from somewhere. One of the biggest misconceptions about AI is that it actually is thinking for itself. Unlike the movie versions, which usually don't end well, ChatGPT and other AIs currently are not sentient. Rather, they're
And pray they never become sentient, okay? We don't want the Ultron, Terminator, Matrix situation here.
very advanced search engines equipped with predictive features that let them analyze the contents of the internet and then come up with collated answers. That means that what you're getting from each prompt isn't from ChatGPT per se, it's from what ChatGPT collects and spits back out. And that's led writers and artists to say, hey, you're using my stuff. And that's not the biggest problem, because as everyone knows, you can just go on the internet and tell lies. If ChatGPT is using the entirety of the internet to generate its answers, then it's going to come across a lot of inaccurate material, and often the inaccurate material is the most popular, which leads to it being weighted more heavily in the answer that ChatGPT generates. This is a problem across the major AI engines, and the companies admit it. They essentially have said AI is great, but you should supplement it with a little of your own.
There we go. It's a tool. It's a tool just like your laptop, your iPad, your iPhone. They're all tools. How you use the tool is what matters. Okay? Even like a garden shovel, okay? You can use to actually dig and help and create a garden, or you could use it to hurt someone as a weapon. It's still a tool. It's what the user does that defines it. It's not the tool itself, right? So how you use it defines it.
Intuition and make sure that you're making the right choices. The good news is no one is becoming overly dependent on AI, right? Well, they say the children are our future, and in this case, they are the canary in the coal mine. Teachers dealing with Gen Z, and especially the younger Gen Alpha, report that these kids are dependent on ChatGPT in a way that is shocking.
Bro, I pray for Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and everyone going forward, but I've seen in real life, the Gen Z equivalent of super AI dependency. Their brains, maybe it's just one unique example, but yeah, it's just their thinking ability goes down quite a bit. You know, their rational ability, their awareness. You know, um, and if you rely on a tool so much, and don't get me wrong, we all relied on something a lot. Remember, there was if you're not 35 or older, you probably are 30 plus and older. You probably can't remember a time when there was no GPS on your freaking smartphone, or probably you might not even remember a time before iPhones. I was there. My generation was there. No iPhone growing up, no smartphones, barely cell phones. Okay, so we went through all that. So, and there was a time before Google Maps was there. There was none of that. There was actual maps, or you could print it off online on a MapQuest, right? That's non-existent today. So, yeah, every generation has its issues. Every generation has its challenges. We're gonna get through it, but it's just current one.
Students will be asked a question, look up the answer on ChatGPT, and insist it's right even if it is obviously inaccurate. They use AI to generate their assignments, blank on tests when separated from their phones, and have lost many of the skills needed to do schoolwork in other ways. Some teachers are trying to bring back traditional written tests and essays to counter this problem, but many of the younger students are just unable to handle it. And if they can't handle school, how will they handle the working world?
Yeah, exactly.
Older Gen Z and millennials are less vulnerable to the allure of ChatGPT and its compatriots than the kids, because they grew up without it and learned skills differently. But that doesn't mean the temptation isn't strong. There have been plenty of reports of college students using the chatbot to generate papers, or even their graduating thesis, as one student boasted at his graduation. And some have even gotten fired by presenting an AI summary to their boss. Or worse, one lawyer nearly lost his license after presenting a ChatGPT output paper to a judge who noticed that the cases cited in this paper were completely made up. Many people who use AI are shocked.
Holy shit. Bringing it into the legal world? Oh my god. And try to fake cases? Oh man.
To discover that using it could be considered plagiarism or even fraud. But in many areas, people aren't trying to keep it under the radar, they're boasting about it. Generative AI, particularly in the visual sense, is not good enough to replace human work yet, but many studios are still hoping that no one will notice. AI has already made its way into many creative efforts, including some of the most famous studios in the world. Disney was called out for using AI filters to create a surreal effect in the opening credits of their Marvel series Secret Invasion. Meanwhile, the animation team behind Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse reportedly used AI to automate several time-consuming, labor-intensive parts of the back-end animation process, but insisted that the product you were seeing on the screen wasn't AI-influenced. And Netflix has been very open about the fact that they see generative AI as a useful tool to roll out content faster. That's the big guns. What about the little guys?
Yeah, and I remember professionals in the past talking about AI taking over Hollywood and movies as a whole. And it's true, if you can simply generate a movie, a film, a video with just written prompts, and you got minutes, if not hours, of something to view, bro, that's like all of Hollywood out of a job. Like, that could be game over. If it gets to that point, I hope it doesn't. But if you could just AI generate anything you want to see at any time, without the need to pay anyone or production or whatever that movie set to go through, it could technically be game over. But I hope that we don't get to that day. But yeah, like he said, big tech, they cannot afford to not be competitive in the tech world and not get behind by utilizing the most up-to-date tech and advancements with all the other companies, right? So yeah, if they don't, they're screwed. But by doing so, they might also be screwing up people, professionals, and whatever out of a job too. So it's crazy.
One of the biggest allures of AI right now is that it can do things so much cheaper for smaller studios, and they hope no one will notice. This has made it extremely appealing for studios specializing in content for young children. The short-form animated show CoComelon fired most of its writers last year and is reportedly leaning hard into AI development for its skits about singing babies. Same goes for the content farms on YouTube turning out endless videos of copyrighted characters dancing, and for the low-budget mockbuster industry cranking out parodies and knockoffs of major Hollywood movies. Sure, they won't look nearly as good as they would without AI, but if a movie looks 25% worse and costs 90% less, the studios may decide the trade-off is worth it. Which
Those numbers are not adding up. I mean, for, not using AI. So that's definitely in AI's favor.
is to say you're not avoiding AI whether you want it or not. A small industry where AI has had a big impact has been on the comic book industry, where projects are often heavily funded by individual artists and run on a shoestring.
There we go. Now we can finally get a proper sequel to Zack Snyder's Justice League, Part 2, Part 3, that we never could have gotten before. Or any movie, superhero, non-superhero, whatever, that fans wanted more of, didn't get enough, weren't happy. Maybe Game of Thrones Season 8, we could fix that, right? I think a lot of people will be happy about that, including myself, so...
Now, many writers are trying to write scripts and then do the art through ChatGPT's art applications, which has not gone over well at all. But even at the bigger companies, no one is immune. DC Comics has had cover artists accused of using AI. Even an issue of Batman had an acclaimed artist report.
Batman's the GOAT, by far the GOAT. I love DC, Batman, Superman. I got stickers right here. We're going to see AI-generated Batman animated for sure very soon, and the animated films are phenomenal. Live actions are great too, but animated is phenomenal, so we should see more AI there.
Reportedly use AI filtering techniques to create more bizarre visuals, which all comes down to, well, it's a bad time for artists. Those in the creative fields are being hit the hardest by this new era of tech-based art. While this has happened before, like hand-drawn animation legends like Don Bluth feeling pushed out as the new era of computer animation began with Toy Story in 1995, this is different. This isn't a new skill that can be learned, it's a machine that can do things faster and cheaper than any human could ever match.
There you go. That's it. It's a machine that can do things faster and cheaper than any human can ever match. That's the purpose of AI, okay? We're going to end this right here. It's a full 18 minutes, and we're basically at the exact halfway mark, 9 minutes. So I'm going to leave that here. I want to leave the link in the bottom. So AI has already won. You just can't see it by Infographics Show. If you like, hit the like button, subscribe for more. But we have to learn about it. It's here to stay. There's no way without it, okay? But whatever, like, we can only control so much in life, okay? Focus on what you can control, not what you cannot. And technology is always advanced throughout human civilization, and we've always been on top of that, right? So, okay, I hope you liked this episode. Hit the like button, share, subscribe for more. And once again, just some perspective. Peace.